Hello, and welcome to Don't You Know I'm Loco podcast. We're three cousins looking to break generational curses by sharing our mental health and healing journeys. Join me, Candy, along with Lisa and Renee as we talk about
the things we're not supposed to talk about.
And Kobe for the show.
Kobe's here.
Special guest.
Special guest. What are you going to talk about today, Kobe?
That's funny.
So cute. I'm going to be really distracted.
You're a good boy, huh?
Oh, he's so cute.
But this is going to be a lighter topic.
Yeah.
Last week's was a little
eye-opening. And yeah, we got some good stuff in, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Definitely. But who wants to start on their challenge for the week?
Let's see. What was my challenge? Do you have a challenge?
I would say the biggest challenge I had this week was just adjusting to my new schedule. Mm-hmm. I started getting up at 5 every morning to walk this guy because it's so hot.
It is, yeah.
So it's like something you have to do over here, right?
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to do that in California where you have to get up like extra early to beat the heat.
Yeah.
So I started getting up at 5 to walk him, and then going on my walks like after. I lost like 4 pounds this week, so
yeah. Good for you.
But I guess the challenge was just adjusting to it, and I did. Like now I'm waking up like at 4:45, like on time, like before the alarm goes off. I know.
Yeah, that's funny. I had the same thing, and I'm like, me?
I know.
I used to barely make it to work.
Discipline.
Yes, it really is. That's why I'm like, more power to the people that get up to work out and, do those things at 5 in the morning, 5:30 in the morning.
The latest I got up, I think, was 5:45 this week. But you have to because it gets so hot.
Yeah, it does.
I don't want to walk him and it's like 95 degrees outside.
The other day I was going to walk the dogs and it was like 10:45 p.m. And I was like,
still hot.
And I was like, do I get robbed or do I walk the dog?
The things about living in Vegas.
I know, right?
And in the winter.
But I was just being lazy. I was just like, sorry guys.
But in the winter, it's the other way around. Like, you can't take him at 5 o'clock, so you're free. So it's the opposite way around. You gotta get up like at 10. Damn desert life.
Oh my god, I know.
Love it.
I guess that was my challenge, though. Just like
Adjusting
to the getting up early and being in the heat.
Mm-hmm. 100. Yeah.
Today felt good. It was 101. I was like, hey, that's not bad.
I know, right? Compared to 110.
That's a big difference.
Yeah. Like, your body kind of goes into shock. Like, it like sweats and then it's like, it gets cold from the AC and then it's like, it feels weird sometimes when you like first come out or you first come in. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I love it. My challenge this week was, so I've been moving some stuff around and, taking care of some stuff. And I never ask for help, ever. Ever do I ask for help. And if I do, and you say, okay, no, you don't say okay. If you say like no, or no, you're not even saying no, but if you just like say anything except yes, I take it as a no, right? And I shut down and I'm like, don't worry about it, I got it. I hate that I do that. Mm-hmm. So with this new like moving things, my special person in my life was so like dedicated to helping me this week. Like he was there. Like I didn't have to ask him or anything. Like he was just there. Like, and nobody else like asked to help or you did. You did.
Like wait, I asked. Like Candy's like,
and I don't mean it like that. It was just because it was like it happened. Everything happened so fast, and I was just like, I need to do this now. And then it was kind of like, and I don't want to ask anybody, obviously, but it was more the fact that like I was like vulnerable to him. Like I was like, okay, I do need help. And just I don't have to ask for anything. Like he's been a lot of help, and it's been nice to accept it. And there's been times where I'm like, I can do it, like, or I'm like holding something super heavy and he's like, oh, I got it, and he'll take it from me. And I'm like, because that's really hard for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm used to doing those kind of things by myself. So having someone like, no, let me get it for you. And then like, even like last night, he was like, I don't mean to be bossy. I don't mean to like come off like I'm taking over. He's just like, you're just carrying a big heavy box. He's like, and I just want to take it from you. He's like, I mean no harm. He's like, I'm just trying to help you. And I was like, I'm sorry, you know, because you don't know until like it's in your face. And you're like, oh shit, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I think that was it.
That's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice to have somebody who wants to help you.
Yeah.
Like, and
like genuinely wants to.
Yeah. Wants you to do better for yourself, not for their benefit.
Yes.
Good for you. I'm happy for you. My challenge this week was kind of like letting control. Some things are shifting around at work, and somebody took over a task that was mine previously. And I was like, you haven't started it? It's gonna be late. But I made sure to say, that everybody knew the shift in the task or whatever. But I still was like, you haven't started? Like, is it done yet? Like, I still was like anxious about
letting go.
Yes. And that's a big thing, like at work, that it's like, I asked, like, same thing as you. Like, I asked for help, and then I didn't get it. So I was like, fuck you, I'm never asking for help. Ever again. Yes! I was like, fuck you, I'm never
You're gonna scare Kobe over here.
No, because it's funny because I think that it would have like, well, fuck you, I don't need you, you know?
Yeah.
Like, here I am, this independent woman. It's like, no, bitch, just let somebody help you.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
Yeah. And I was like, I never asked for help. I fucking asked you for help, and you're freaking asleep over there. I'm just kidding. But yeah, so then I was like, okay, I gotta just let it go, and then if
let it go.
Yeah.
No, the thing, the
yes.
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
But yeah, so letting go and just like not being so anxious at work, I think is like, my boss will always be like, well, it'll be here when we get back. And I'm always like,
I love bosses that say
I know.
Oh.
And I'm just like, okay. So yeah, just like, okay, well, gotta let it go and let whoever's taking it over, that's their problem, not mine anymore. So
good for you. Good for you.
Yeah. But
we'll see. You're like,
let it go.
I'm like, I'm gonna are you sure?
It's Monday already.
Before we move on to the topic of the week, I want to say that update on the letter. I still have it in my possession. Haven't decided what to do with it yet, so I don't want to leave everybody hanging and like listening. It's still, I'm still processing it. So it's not something I just want to like, do on a whim. So we'll see. I'll let everybody know once I decide exactly what to do with what I'm doing with it.
Or not.
Or not. Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
So
I know your phone was probably blowing up with messages.
There's some people that
Yeah.
they're asking my sister. I'm like, why are you guys asking me?
Yeah. Because it's a touchy subject, you know?
Yeah. I'm whoever's out there and they want to ask me anything, you can text me. You have my number, Facebook, whatever.
And if you don't, then it's none of your business. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
But I guess on to the subject for the week.
Yep. We are talking about sex.
Kobe, cover your ears. Earmuffs.
So this is one of the topics that I had on the list of topics that we have. And it was, I titled it Sex and Shame, and then I also put body intelligence in there because it's something I think in the Latino community, it's like, you're a kid, but you have to learn things on your own because it's like almost like taboo for our parents not to talk about these things to us now, right?
There's no bees and birds.
Birds
and bees.
No, we didn't get that. It was like birds and the bees.
Birds and the bees.
Yeah.
It was
which I never understood that.
It was like, if you get pregnant, you better not come back. Or
yeah,
if you get somebody pregnant, Yeah.
Mine was,
Crazy,
if you
huh?
get pregnant, we're kicking your sister and her baby out. And I'm like, what? What the
Oh.
heck? I was like, yeah, right. You would never. That would never happen. Never. But yeah, but I was just like, okay. But I'm like, I think if they would have, not like in full detail, but if had they been
us a
more
clue?
comfortable, yeah,
Give us a clue.
been more comfortable talking to us about it, because even like between us as cousins, it's like we don't talk about those things. Like that's awkward. We don't talk about that. And I'm like, no. Like there's this other podcast that I listen to, and it's they talk a lot about sex and all these different things, and I'm always like
What
mind
podcast?
blown.
Can you
It's
talk-
called Horrible Decisions, and it's like two girls.
Decisions, okay.
Yeah, and it's spelled like whore.
But
But it's so like there's
fun.
it's like very out there, but it's
Like
like
their
open and
stories,
honest.
right?
Yeah, like stories and
So
experiences, and they're like wild, and I'm like, oh my god,
How
like
fun.
yeah. But I'm like, okay, there's a lot of things that I learn and like about other things out in the world that I'm like, okay, it's not even in my wheelhouse, but that's okay,
All right.
right? Yeah, because I feel like, and it's like we grew up with sex is for making kids, and that's
Mhm.
it.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, no, it should be like for both ends. Both ends should benefit from
Yeah.
it. It's not just one sided. And I feel like we don't we don't get to talk about it.
Mhm.
One, we're just like lost in space about what to
Yeah.
do. And then a lot of the times it's like you're depending on the other person, and it's like
Better not hope they have the same kind of parents you did.
right, exactly. Because then we're just gonna be like, okay,
They're just staring at each other.
right. Like, yeah, okay, yeah. So I'm just like, I just wish like it wouldn't have been so like awkward, where it was like we didn't know anything, and then it's like, okay, like even with like the whole body intelligence, like knowing your body and and knowing things like, like for instance, in high school, me and a friend were in a class. We were talking about like, she's like, do you know how to put in a tampon? I was like, no, I've never. And she's like, well, it's prom coming up, and and so I'm like, and then the teacher's like, what are you guys talking about? And she was like so mad, and then we're like, and so like we told her like in private, and she's like, what? You guys don't know? It was my Spanish teacher, Miss Bonilla. Shout out to you. But she like kicked all the boys out of the class and was like, okay, this is what you do, like, and I was like, that's so crazy that my high school teacher had to teach me that. And it's granted because, again, it's taboo, all these other things, like maybe she didn't know, or she just didn't want to have the conversation or whatever, but, and those are things that I've like, now I'll go back and revisit stuff with my mom, and I'm like, hey, this, and she's like, oh, okay, yeah. And that's like with my sisters, I'll tell them like, make sure this and make sure that, like just like little things that I was like, I like just little things that I was like, well, you aren't going to teach me, I'm going to teach myself, and then I'm going to do it wrong, and then like
or can I say or it's like, what can I show, like how would I want to like be taught, or how would I want to like
have you thought about that for your almost teenage daughters?
And it's a struggle, but sometimes I feel like I get through with her, sometimes I don't, but that's being a teenager, and I've read a little bit about like teenagers and like what, like, because before it was like teenagers are so bad, they just do drugs and do all this stuff, right? And they're just like waiting to have sex, and they're like, but I'm like, that's like everybody, right? Like, what? Like, so this, like I mentioned about like my whole parenting is different, but it's very open. It's very like, I don't want her to have to go to a teacher to put on a tampon, like that's my job. Maybe I won't know how to teach her or like say those exact words, but we're going to figure it out. Yeah. You know, like, so if you have Miss Bonilla's number, girl.
That's funny. Yeah, it's just like a lot of things that like I started having sex like I'm going to say 16, I started having sex. And then it was like, I had to learn to go get birth control. I used Planned Parenthood. Like, Planned Parenthood has saved so many people with, like, you know, going to the gynecologist or going to get their regular checkups and stuff like that. Because that's not something that we're taught to do. Like, hey, you know, it's just like they don't ask. And so, like, what are we supposed to do? Yeah. Like, you know, I didn't start going to see a gynecologist until then. Like, they're like, oh, we're going to do this, but we, you know, you need to get checked and you need to be tested and you need to be this. And it's like, okay. And it was like, I had to put myself on birth control and I had to, you know, and it was like that and like all the stuff that's in birth control and stuff like that, you know, like it changes everything. And so I'm like, okay, like, it's a lot of heavy stuff, and it's like, okay.
and you might not like learn the right way. You might just
exactly
you heard
like you're learning from your friends, and then it's like, oh, well, this is how they do it, and then you figure out it's not even the right way. Like, you know,
I'm like, it hurts.
And it's like, okay,
it's like, oh, you're not a virgin anymore, honey. You put on a tampon.
Yeah,
remember that?
That's the other thing, and it's
like, what they tell you?
Yeah, you can't use tampons because you're gonna lose your virginity.
Yeah. So stupid.
Yes, it's like, what the heck? What? Okay, yeah. Seriously, like that's.
I gotta tell you guys when you guys are done with this.
No,
jump in whenever.
This was really embarrassing. But my mom didn't let me wear boxers. I had to wear tidy whities.
Oh my god!
Because she said that my thing was gonna get too long. I swear to God.
Until what age?
I think it's like I can start biting my own thumb.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
No, for real. You know what? Because one time I stole a thumb, I took the tag and then I put it in my purse. Or like my pocket, whatever. Because, you know, thumbs are small, so they fit in my pocket. Yeah. Yes. And I was
can't believe I just admitted that one.
Oh, your mom.
So I started wearing boxers as soon as I could. It's like a catch up.
Imagine telling a friend that or something.
I just told everybody.
Oh my god.
So I started wearing boxers until I got to the military. Or when I got into the military, they I had to wear the underwear that they issue.
Yeah.
Well, you had to wear like the tiny whities, but they were brown.
It's like a sports bra, like
okay.
just very like white.
Yeah, we had to wear like issued chonies.
And you didn't ask your dad?
No, that doesn't tell me.
Your dad? He just like popped it up like on every once in a while.
Oh my gosh. That's hilarious.
Yeah, but that's mine for that one.
I think with the whole body shaming will be on its own, because it's a whole a whole another thing.
Yeah.
But it's like
but still get body shamed in his house. My dad.
Oh my gosh. What the heck? What was the other thing?
But okay, so you know how something happened to you, something happened to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
It stunted my sexual, what's the word I'm looking for?
Curiosity,
yeah. It stunted it because, I guess you can go one way or the other with it, right?
Oh, the other.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah, I was scared of touch, and I was scared of I was afraid that sex was painful for women. Me doing it to them. Yeah. For the longest time. Because what happened to me.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, I didn't lose my virginity until I was 23.
Oh my
yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I was just,
Yeah.
there was opportunities, but I was just so scared. I didn't want to. And then finally, it just happened here in Vegas.
We can talk about it, but I can still say ew.
But yeah, like it
That's
totally stunted me, and then like
Yeah.
I always say there's like two versions of me, or three now, or four. Because there was the Renee before he got molested, and there was the Renee that got molested. And he was around for the longest time, and then there was the Renee when he got back from Afghanistan, and that Renee was terrible. I was making up for
For
all the
last
years.
time.
So, and now there's this Renee, the Renee at peace,
Good for you.
and being careful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Self-aware too.
Self-aware.
Yeah,
self-aware.
definitely. Yeah, I definitely went the other way. It was more of, now that I think of it, I'm like, it's more of, I lost control of my body when that happened to me, and it was me taking control back by being like, whatever.
I can see that, yeah.
And so it was like, okay, this is what we're gonna do, this is what we're gonna do. And so, like, yeah, so wild. What?
The opposite of Renee.
Yeah, I went the other way. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it was just like, and I've thought about that, like, oh my God. I think back to things and I'm like, oh. But it was like more of a control thing. Like I took control of it because I lost control at that time. So then it was like, okay.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I'm telling you, like, I'm a little bit ahead of you guys in your healing journey.
Yeah.
Like I break down so many things and I'm like, oh my God, that's what that is. And it's like with different resources or podcasts or like different like things that I hear and I'm like, oh my God, like that, and then I like analyze myself and I'm like, this is this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. And even like I think about it and I'm like, in this situation, was it mutual or was it just I was having control, but I was still letting somebody else take the lead and take the main of it. And it was mainly that. Like I was still like, oh, but I'm saying it's okay and that's why.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Damn.
Because I mean, it's out
crazy.
there. It's so like,
Yeah.
if you want to get laid, you can get laid. Like it's not, you know. But like the fact that you were just like, okay, let's do this.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm learning.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And like just little things that I'm just like, dang, like, it all goes back to this incident. And it's like, I don't realize until like I'm like, oh, okay, talking about it and like hear things and stuff like that, and then I like analyze it and I'm like, dang, like everything goes back to this because everything is like a reaction to that, you know. So I'm like, oh man.
And you don't know you're doing it. You're just like, those are the habits that you created for yourself. And
Yeah. Definitely rough. But it was a fun It was a fun
it was fun while it lasted.
Yep.
Oh, how funny. But yeah, it's I know in my household we just never talked about it. Like my mom was like, do you know what it is? And I'm like, yeah, I know what sex is. She's like, okay. And we were watching Primer Impacto. Oh my God. I don't remember what it was on. And then I just remember like looking at her, or she looked over at me and she's like, do you sabes qué es sexo? And I was like, yeah, I know. She's like, okay. And that was it. Like that's all I remember.
Dang.
Oh wow.
I remember the biggest discrepancy in our, like, me and my sister is she was older than me, but she could do less things than I could because she could get pregnant.
Wow.
Because if you get somebody pregnant, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Supposedly different.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Fabi always kind of had like this issue with me for that. It wasn't my fault. I wasn't doing anything anyways, Fabi. But when it comes to that part too, like, shit, what was I gonna say? Oh yes, I was confused about my sexuality for a bit because I let that happen to me. So I was always like,
you didn't let that happen to you.
Well, happened. Yeah.
I wanted to.
Thank you.
You didn't let it happen.
Since that happened to me, since it was done to me.
Yes.
That's what I was going to say. I always like questioned my sexuality for probably like my whole high school life.
Mm-hmm.
And it was confusing because I know I wasn't, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, and then when that happened, it was like, fuck, am I? Because that happened. So, I was confused for a while, and then my dad was I think he questioned my sexuality for a while too, which is nothing, not that there's anything wrong with that.
Of course not.
Yeah.
Our Seinfeld lines.
Yeah. That was
Not there's anything wrong with that. But it's just, for me, I'm not, and it was just mega, mega confusing. Like,
Yeah.
my brain was just like, what
Mm-hmm.
what am I to think?
Yeah.
So that was even more, like, made it harder for me as a teenager, was
Yeah.
definitely that.
You know what's crazy? Like with all the, like, don't talk about it. Like, I mean, my dad was, he cheated on my mom, like the whole, practically his whole like marriage, you know, like, and they've dealt with a lot of infidelity in their relationship, and that like came onto us, right? Because like we were thinking like, oh, that's just how it is. Men just cheat, and you know, and that, I think that is one of the reasons why before I was like so against dating or like talking to Hispanic guys, because I was like, I'm not gonna go into that relationship where, you know,
Oh shit!
you know?
That explains a lot.
It does. So you're saying that your type is strategized, basically.
Pretty much, yes.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
Whoa. I never thought about that way.
I mean, not when I'm I'm not
No,
purposely looking for that, you know, but it's
No.
just like,
like it was.
You have
punch
types.
ahead. Yeah.
yeah.
You have your first types and now your second types. But like, definitely understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, is that why some like other Latino women would like want deep Mexican dudes?
I don't know. I mean, everybody I think has their
Hispanic
own
dudes?
way, but
Yeah.
I know for me that was a main reason. And I have talked and dated a couple of Latinos and stuff that they weren't like that.
Yeah.
It just didn't work out, but you know.
See, I'm the opposite.
And it's
Fellas, we gotta get together. There's some Latino men making us look bad.
That's bad. I was quite the opposite. I was like, nobody's gonna understand my family and all this shit than somebody who probably lived in it too, you know? And so, yeah, I'm thinking back and I'm like, oh, yeah, pretty much everybody.
yeah. How funny. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Oh, wow. That's interesting.
Damn. What she said is just some.
Yeah.
It
The things we're not supposed to talk about.
There we go. Look what happens when we talk about it.
gives me a more understanding of you now.
Yeah, big time.
Really?
Because
Yeah,
that's the view that you grew up with.
Yeah.
Your normal was different than how my parents' dynamic was normal, and your parents' was dynamic was normal. Like, for instance, my dad would bring my mom flowers all the time. So that's how, and they would always like, they're more affectionate physically, and that's my love language. Like, literally, I have a picture of me and they're like kissing, and I'm like this, looking at them, right? And my husband is not like, he's not a physical touch. He's a words of affirmation and like a acts of service person. And I'm like, you don't love me, you don't want to hug me. Just hug me, you know? And I'm like, okay. But that's because that's what I grew up, that's what love was to me. Like, that's what marriage was to me. Yeah.
This is making a lot of sense for me now, too, because I'm always looking for like a friend type. Because that's how my parents are. My parents are like the best friends.
Yeah.
Like, you see them, right? And they're like more like friends.
That's what you're looking for. You can't.
And I don't even realize it. I was like,
Yeah. You know how they always say you end up with
Oh
somebody
my
who's
God.
like your parent? Like, women end up
Yeah.
with somebody that's like their dad, and like men end up with
oh
somebody
my
who's
God,
like
I
their
never thought about
mom.
that.
I'm like, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. No.
No.
Yeah, because I'm always trying to build a friendship and then move like hopefully the romantic part, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what I know. Like shit, that's how they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're dynamic.
And I'm always like, why are people like chasing strangers? Right?
Yeah, I know. It's so interesting. Yeah, I think. Okay, so my relationship, we moved totally different. Like, we dated for like, I'm going to say a month, and then I moved in because I had just moved here to Vegas, and then I was always there, and then he was like, "Do you want to just move in?" And then he always says,
like, "You want to pay rent?"
Exactly. You want to go have
I'm joking.
No, for real.
It was like $200 back then in Vegas.
I know. A 1-bedroom apartment. Yeah. So I moved in like right away. I had just moved here, and I moved in like, I want to say October, maybe November, and we just met in September. And I was like, I'm gonna
tell them how you guys met.
Oh, we met through Renee. Renee here is the reason why I have my husband. But yeah, I moved in like right away, and I was like, oh my god, what am I doing, right? And then I was like, no, it just from the beginning it felt different from everybody, from anything I've ever felt. It felt different.
Wow,
like when people say when you know, like that's why I was like, he's different. Like he's totally different from everybody else in the past. And so that's why I was like, okay, we're moving in. I say I didn't move in until Geeky officially moved in, my baby. But he's like, no, you moved in right away. Oh, my baby. But yeah, since then, so we moved in together, and then it took about 5 years for us to get engaged and get married. But I'm like, you know how they always say to wait to have sex until you're married, and I'm like, well, then what happens if it's you don't like it? If it's not good? You know, I know size doesn't matter, but what if it does? Like, you know, then you're like, dang, I didn't hit the jackpot. Now what do I do? You know? Yeah, it's like, oh my god, surprise, very surprised. You know, like, oh my god, very surprised. Because then it's like, well, how do you know, that you guys vibe together and all of that, you know?
Especially like moving in. Like, I was more like, you know, no, like maybe not move in. Or, you know, whatever. I don't know. I was trying to do something in my head and make it right or whatever, justifying it. But you learn everything when you move in. Like, you can stay there all day and all night. Oh, yeah. But, like, when you move in, that shit they hide under the bed before you come up is there. Like, you know, like,
What, Fernando?
No, not Fernando. For people in the past, because I always think about that. No, Fernando's a clean freak. Like, so, yeah, that's why I'm like, people will sit there, I'm like, people will sit there and show you their best image of themselves because that's you're going to go back to your house, right? But when you are there, you know, like, it's totally different. Like, no, when you live together.
Online dating. Oh my god.
Oh my god. See, I met Fernando right before online dating.
Lucky. I
met him the old-fashioned way.
I hate it.
Hook up? No. It was a hookup. No.
Literally. He, like, threw me over his shoulder, and I was, like, in love because we were
leaving the club.
We were leaving the club.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, we were leaving Dre's, and he was like, what did he say? I was like, let's take a cab. And he was like, I'm so broke then. He was like, I'm not fucking taking a cab. He was like, let's walk. And I threw her over my shoulder, and I was like, and I fell in love, but little did we know you're just being cheap.
This is before Uber too.
Yeah, it was. Literally a taxi on the strip.
Oh no. Forget
about it. No. Yeah. So, yeah, we started back, and I was more scared for like the tias to find out than my mom and dad, because my mom and dad, their relationship started really early, and they moved in together and got married really young, and so.
How old were they?
I think my mom was 16 when they got married, 16, 17, because Abuelita had to come sign.
No way.
Yeah, and he was like, I'm going to do it to make sure that you guys are, right? Yeah, so, like, my parents started off really early, and, like, and that's another thing that I'm, like, crazy that the generation before, like, they had one boyfriend and then they got married.
Oh, yeah.
You know? Yeah. And for some people it works, you know? Like, one and done, and I'm like... No, I don't think me and my first boyfriend, I don't think we can still be married. No. Yeah, because then that's how you realize what you like and what you don't like. Yeah, and that's in and out of the bedroom. Like, that's, you know, like, what somebody won't do, somebody else will do, you know? And it's like, okay, that's how you figure out what you like and what you don't like, you know? Like, okay, no, don't do that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, with one person, it's like, okay, yeah. But for me, that wasn't an option for me.
Yeah.
My mom's only boyfriend was my dad.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how
But
my
I
mom
mean,
and dad
it worked.
Yeah.
They,
Yeah.
they were
But I also think, not saying any of our parents or whatever, like, I think a lot of that generation stayed because they felt like they had to.
Yeah.
Or, like, it was taboo to not.
Get divorced.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Divorce
Yeah.
is...
Yeah, and divorce is such a, like, taboo thing. And it's like,
Yeah.
why are you going to stay in something that you're unhappy and unhealthy in? You know?
Mhm.
Like, it doesn't work out. Doesn't mean you'd have to stay there.
Just
like,
get divorced. And
Yeah.
then if it doesn't work out again, just get divorced again.
Three times a charm. Yeah, and it's like, okay, maybe we worked at that time, but we don't work now. So,
No.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think people grow, and so, you know, it's okay.
You know, one thing that's like really fucked up is that for years and years and years, our aunts, our tias, like controlled us. They controlled our lives. They controlled, and by that I mean, don't do this because so and so is gonna see it and they're gonna say something, or you're gonna be like, it was always like gossip, and it was always like, you know, just really bad stuff that like, God, like hearing it from like different people and places, and it was just like, stop, you know, and yeah, I mean, you couldn't do anything. You couldn't dress a certain way. You could, like, if you had nails, like they would say something, your hair color, like it was always something, and it was like, don't do that because and so, and it was like, at least my mom always did that, and we've talked about this, and she's, you know, she's like, oh my God, I did that, and I'm like,
they never remember.
No, I never did
remember.
Remember?
sit down, let me tell you. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's true.
My mom always said, it's your reputation. It's a reputation.
Nah.
And I'm like,
No,
like,
it wasn't your reputation. It was their reputation.
oh,
And somebody's going to tell them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, you better not walk funny because then that means you lost your virginity.
Oh my
Oh
God.
my God.
Are you guys serious right now? You guys have never heard
No.
those?
I've heard that one.
There's so,
Oh my God.
so many things. So dumb.
I had the funniest one. I had the funniest grandma story.
Fill it.
No, it's funny what she said. So
Oh, okay.
this was like when my mom and sister and my grandma, they went to like beauty salon in LA, East LA. Glorious, yes.
Oh my God, I can't believe they would go so far to get their hair done. And that girl was so fun. That lady had lovely.
To go all the way over there. And they would take my our grandma sometimes, right? And you know our grandma says like off the cuff shit. Right?
She did not give one fuck.
This lady walks in and like sits down and grandma goes, "Ooh, huele como sexo."
No way.
Swear to God. True story. I wasn't there, but my sister and my mom told me the story.
Oh, that is
Oh my
hilarious.
God. I would never. I'm clutching my pearls right now. What? What do you mean?
That's probably all she smells. Like 11 kids? Imagine.
Oh my God.
She knows that.
How dare you guys?
No.
Not me. I'm just kidding. I think about that.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, they really like would just have that many kids. I'm like, I'm still like, do I want to? Because I really like my chilling on the couch, you know, like going on vacation. Don't have to, like, my dogs still have to get taken care of. But still, they're a whole lot easier. My dad's like, we just got to let them out and feed them. I'm like, exactly. Not low, 11 kids.
He's like, we have enough grandchildren. Don't even worry about it.
We're good. I know. Oh my God. Yeah. I can't imagine that many. But it was like, that was their purpose.
That was their thing.
Yeah. It was
They didn't have
never-
TVs back then, so.
Yeah, right? That's always a joke. I know. Like, can you imagine, like, the dynamic in that? Like, between, like, the oldest and the youngest, and, like,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
because it's like, my mom has nieces and nephews that are, like, that's, everybody has nieces and nephews that are like more like cousins because they're closer in age than anything, right? And it's like, oh my God. Y'all were still going? Y'all were still going at that time?
Your kid, wait, so the oldest one had a kid, while grandma had a kid. Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah, because my mom's the
That's
baby, but she
wild.
has nieces and nephews that she grew up with that were more like cousins. And I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, that's right. Dang.
Oh my god. I was like,
And we're the horny ones, huh?
just
We're having like in football teams back then.
oh my gosh. Yeah. And it's like, dang, like, I wonder if like they wanted to, like, you know, do they want to have that many kids? Like, you know?
What do you guys know the age difference? I know it was a big age difference, but I don't know.
Between grandma and grandma?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Somebody out there knows.
Yeah, let us know.
I know it's big.
So do you think like she didn't really have a choice?
Ooh.
They were talking about it the other day. I forgot who was like how they met, or was it you that was talking to them? You were asking like how do they meet? Did they even like each other or something like that?
With your mom.
Oh yeah, the barbecue.
Yeah, I remember that conversation. Yeah. Like how did they end up? What did they say?
No, I think they were thinking and
I think I remember.
to be honest, I don't remember.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because stories went into like different stories.
Yeah,
different stories,
I know.
And I know that was we never got back to it.
Oh, okay. I'll ask.
Yeah.
Mom, let me know.
Yeah. Age difference. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine dating being 15 and dating someone that's 30 or whatever?
Yeah.
Because I think it was like a 15-year difference
No, I think
or
10.
something.
Mm.
10?
I want to say 10.
10.
It's still a lot, yeah.
Do you have anything in common with?
Hell no.
Oh my god, I've seen those things where it's like, I think I'm closer to 30 until I hang out with 30-year-olds. And I'm like, nope, definitely closer to 40. Yeah.
It's definitely a change because you don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You don't give a fuck.
Like people
It feels
ask
so
me
good.
about dating. I'm like, I could never date like somebody under like 35. I would say even that feels too young.
Yeah. Well, it's just they're different mentalities. Like
mentalities.
just different.
Mm-hmm. See,
Like
if-
we've gone through stuff. You know,
that would
like
be, my first question would be like, do you go to therapy?
yeah.
That would be my first question.
Yeah.
Do you go to therapy?
Yeah.
Okay. Surprise!
I need to see
Surprise
what-
date! We're going up to therapy! Dropping you off!
Or are you healing? Are you at least healing?
What are your traumas? Let me know right now.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true though.
That's crazy. And you know what? On both sides of my family, it's like my grandpa on that side had a lot of kids.
Shit.
He has like
Oh my God.
different sets of kids.
Yeah.
I get confused with you. It's
know,
like cousins and it's like
You know what?
cousins.
Her dad was the first set. No, the
I think it
second
was
set.
the
Second set. Yeah, because we have tias that are like older.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
they're like,
shit!
Old, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I
So
didn't know
he
that.
had one.
Because he was a
3 sets?
missionary, so he got around. Like,
Yeah.
he got around.
Yeah. And you know
That's a
what?
wrong word to choose too. Missionary.
It worked.
I didn't know that. I thought what's his name was the oldest one, the junior.
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
Oh.
No, there's a whole
shit.
other set.
Fuck.
Yeah.
And then after us, it was the other set.
Our set.
And then she,
Oh, no.
you know.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Damn.
So I was part of the second set. My dad. My dad was the first of the second set. The third set. The third set. Yeah, the third set. Yeah. But I think about that and I'm like, well, that was their example of, you know, of relationships and whatever back then. And it's
They didn't have an example. They didn't know what a father's supposed to do, and a husband is supposed to, you know, treat his wife, his kids. Like, it was just whatever they learned, and whatever they learned, was
Yeah.
just as bad.
Did you hear like her ancestry, like 23?
Oh, huh?
Like a lot of people are like, a lot of the secrets are coming out of all these people having
family
fucking
secrets.
family
I wonder
secrets.
if there's a podcast of that.
Yeah.
There should be, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna look because that's.
Yeah.
Like, Dad, but see, we have a brother, sister. Just
My
kidding.
dream has come true. You're like, I want more.
Oh my god.
Tired of being the youngest one.
That's funny. Oh my god, my dad will always make a joke. I'm like, ew, Dad. And he'll be like, maybe we'll give you a baby brother. I'm like, yeah, it's interesting to think of like, we all had different dynamics and our parents had different dynamics as to what, relationships were and like marriages. Like you stayed till the end and it's like.
Even though it was getting shit on.
Yeah. Like I didn't think it was weird at that time, but like Abuelita and Abuelito slept in different bedrooms.
Oh, yeah.
But it was that generation because you think about Ricky and Lucy. It was like same.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
That's not a bad idea.
It depends.
Right?
Like, what if you have somebody who snores and like can't sleep and like, oh my god. Sometimes I'd be kicking Fernando in the shit. Like, breathe, we can't sleep. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Damn, you didn't think about that either. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Exclusive bedroom. Do you guys ever have dreams of that house?
Yeah. In the living room.
Me too.
Yeah.
I know. That house was so little and that many people.
How the hell?
2 bedrooms, 1
Yeah.
bath.
You know how like people make fun of
Loft.
like Mexicans getting out of a car, clown car, and they're, like they keep coming out. That's how it was at Grandma's house. Like, and it was for like
forever.
yeah.
It was literally like the size of this loft. Like
Yeah.
15
Wow,
bucks just
yeah.
there.
It was so freaking hot.
Oh my
Yeah, the
god.
spot was next to the
Like,
AC.
yeah.
I
Oh
still
was all
smell
like-
it.
Yeah. It was all Christmas. We're all in the AC, like trying to breathe.
my gosh. Yeah. We have a giant family, by the way.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Our moms are what? How many? There's 11 siblings. There's 4 boys. Yeah, 4 brothers and 7 girls.
Mhm.
And on my side of the family, as you heard, there's different sets.
Yeah.
But my dad is the oldest of the 3rd set. And my mom is the baby of the other side. So that's another dynamic where it's like my dad's the oldest and my mom's the baby. And like their dynamic was different because he's used to taking care of everybody and she's used to being taken care of. So they mesh. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was like, oh, that's so interesting.
I love
like,
that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's why I'm like, can you hold me? Because my mom and my dad, okay? They're always so in love over there. Yeah.
Funny.
Like, oh my gosh. Yeah. They're definitely more affectionate.
And then grandma never.
No.
Never.
Yeah.
I don't think she ever hugged me
One
once.
time, oh yeah. One time I was wearing shorts. It was summer.
Oh,
I lived
no.
in California.
That little house.
In a little house. I come in, I'm wearing shorts. She's like, Mija, no debes de ponerte esos shorts. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like pulling them down and stuff. She's like, porque los hombres nunca sabes. And I'm like, but it's fucking hot.
I hate that. I hate that. Like, why do I have to dress different? Because
You get central
you
air
can't
then?
Yeah.
right? Don't I want to have some booty shorts, okay? That's
Fix it, Grandma.
oh my god.
We all gotta stand in that little corner.
I know, right? Take turns. It's my turn. That's so funny. No, but yeah, I hate that too. I think that goes into like, I want to put that with our body shaming episode because I feel like it's such a double standard, and it's like, why do we have to watch what we wear? Why don't you fucking watch your eyes and control your fucking self?
Their
Like,
hormones.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy. But anyway.
I think I was like 14.
Oh, shit.
I
I'm
know.
not joking. Yeah, I was a teenager.
Wow.
So I was like, for the longest time, I didn't wear shorts at all.
Really?
Mhm.
Damn, because of that? Yeah, she wasn't always the nicest one.
It was, she said what was on her mind.
Yeah, she sure did.
Huele como sexo.
Can you? Oh my god.
I would have walked right out of that lady.
Oh my
This was
so
years ago.
crazy.
I still remember the story.
That's so crazy. Oh my god! I still think it's funny. The whole "Are you trying to have a baby" thing? And it's like, really? It's okay to have sex because you want me to have a baby? Before you don't want me to have sex, now you want me to have it so I can have a baby? Whatever. I'm just practicing. It's so funny. Oh my gosh. All right.
Yeah.
I think we're good today.
Yeah.
Okay. Ready?
So next topic for the next episode.
It's going to be about depression and anxiety. We all have it. Spoiler alert! We all have it.
Even the dog has it.
Oh my god, have you seen that thing where it's like, I got a dog to make me less anxious, and then my dog is anxious?
Seen that?
No.
Yeah.
Dogs are like all freaking out, right? Or something like that.
No, we have to see that.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Oh my god, this one was funny. All right, well, thank you for joining us. If you are in need of any medical assistance, please contact your local provider. If you are having thoughts of suicide, please call the National Suicide Hotline at 988. In case of emergency, call 911. See you next week as we talk about
The things we're not supposed to talk about.
Bye. Subscribe.
See.